the podcast that broke my faith. I was live on my podcast, Hot Takes with Jake, when I dropped the bomb. God is just a really old man in the sky who's way too busy to care about your problems. The chat exploded. Someone called me a heretic. Another said I should be excommunicated. I leaned back in my chair, sipping lukewarm coffee from a chipped mug labeled Believe. My studio was a converted closet in my mom's house, peeling paint on the walls, a single desk lamp casting long shadows over my laptop. The comments scrolled by like a digital funeral. You're going to hell, this is blasphemy, I'm unfollowing you. My hands shook as I stared at the screen. I'd been preparing for this moment since I first started the podcast 6 months ago, but nothing could have prepared me for the sheer weight of hatred pouring in. My co-host, Sarah, had left hours earlier. She'd warned me that this take would be too much. You're not even religious anymore, she'd said before hanging up. This isn't a debate. This is an attack on everything you used to believe. I closed my eyes and took a deep breath. The room felt colder than it should have been, like the walls were closing in. I could hear my own heartbeat echoing in my ears. Then, out of nowhere, I remembered the night I'd first started this podcast. It had been a drunken mistake, me, drunk on cheap whiskey and self-pity, ranting about how God didn't care about me. My mom had listened quietly, her hands clasped in her lap, her face pale. You're wrong, she'd said softly, he does care. I opened my eyes and looked at the camera. I'm not saying God doesn't exist, I said, my voice cracking slightly. I'm saying we've been looking at him all wrong. The chat slowed for a second. A few people blinked at the screen. I used to believe in miracles, I continued, my voice steadier now. I used to think God answered prayers. But what if he's not answering them? What if he's just watching? The chat exploded again, some people screaming that I was right, others yelling that I'd gone too far. I closed my eyes again and took another deep breath. This time, I didn't feel the cold anymore. I felt something else, something warm, something familiar. It wasn't faith in the way I used to know it. It wasn't the kind of faith that answered prayers or performed miracles. But it was real. I opened my eyes and looked at the camera one last time. Maybe God isn't a man in the sky, I said, my voice steady now. Maybe he's just here. The chat went silent for a moment. Then, slowly, people started typing again, some with questions, some with anger, but most with something else, curiosity. I leaned back in my chair and sipped my coffee. The room still felt cold, but I didn't mind anymore.